So I went over to O'Reilly's and got some new fuel line to remake all of these lines. Look at this, when I turn this fuel pump, the hose isn't even tight. This fuel line was just disintegrating, I mean, coming off in little pieces. So for these hard lines, we're just going to use a heat gun, which might have been why this was melted originally. But we're going to use a heat gun on that portion, and then we're going to give it a slice very gently with a razor, and then we're just going to pop it right off. Should be pretty easy. So I've gone ahead and mocked up how I'm going to reroute the lines with this cheap line that I know is not going to work. I use this because it's a little bit bigger in diameter, so it's easy to slide on and off of the barbs without putting too much force on anything. So you can see I've got my whole carrier all lined up properly, and the lines are not kinked at all. They look perfectly fine. But I'm going to be using this Gates barricade stuff. It's fuel injection safe, and it's safe to be used in a tank. So now I'm just going to take these lengths and transfer it to the good hose, and that ought to do it. All done. So I'm going to BMW tomorrow to pick up my new seals for this guy. I did order the isolators from ECS. They're a little bit cheaper through them. They're not coming in until sometime next week, and I have a party tomorrow, and I'd really like to take this car, so I'm just going to put it back in like this with no isolators again. It shouldn't hurt anything. It's actually all very taut right now because the hoses are just a little bit too long. So I think after a week of driving with these submerged in gas, the lines might get a little bit softer, and when I pull it back out of the tank, I should be able to get those isolators in there nice and easy. The most important thing, of course, is that the fuel pump is now repaired. The fuel lines are replaced. One of the lines literally had a hole in it from a heat gun or an electrical short. I don't know what was going on there. So now we're going to be getting full fuel pressure. The next thing I will do is take the fuel pump back out to replace those rubber isolators that were missing. On top of that, I think I might redo all of the wiring just because the wiring all looks a little bit old. And I might as well if I'm going to have the thing out. But as far as working on the car, that's going to be it for now. In the morning, I'm going to the dealership to pick up the ring gasket to actually seal the pump into the tank, and hopefully that resolves the leak that we were having. On top of that, the new O2 sensors also came in, so I will be replacing those in the morning as well. And the car should be in pretty good shape. I'm going to see if I can take it around, see how it handles. The suspension is still really awful. You can't go over about 40 without getting a violent shake just because, like I said, every bushing is gone. But if the engine is running well, that is a huge step forward. So that's it for now. This one's really, really bad. I think next time I'm going to make sure that I have a ratcheting 1/4 inch. So I had to make this line longer, and I ended up having to make the lines from the bulkhead here on the inside down to the pumps a little bit shorter, because the pumps were actually hitting the bottom of the tank. I made the lines a little bit too long, and there just wasn't enough room. So shortened those, pump went in just fine, got the sealing ring on, or got the big ring nut on with a new sealing gasket, nice and tight, hammered down, connectors are good. Got these two new hoses on. This one was actually leaking very badly. I didn't notice it until I actually took the line off. But they are both tight back in there. I replaced the clamps with American style clamps because all I have is a 1/4 inch wrench, and so that works perfectly to tighten those back in there. So last thing to do is put new clamps on here, and then we can finally go drive this thing. Well, let's see if it starts. It's a lot better. So all that residual moisture you're seeing is just silicone spray. Looks like we got the leak taken care of. Looks good. It's still not running perfectly. I do still have the O2 sensors unplugged. So I think what I'm gonna do is just run by my buddy's house and throw it on his lift, because it'll make changing these way faster and easier. And it's Saturday, so why not take it for a quick little drive?